listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Okay, welcome back to another great episode of the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I'm Nick. With me, as always, is TJ, who's hammered, and Anthony the Rook, who's in timeout.
I am
today.
It's on the bottom. It happens. Things happen. Long week, fellas. I don't even have my whiskey with me either.
At this point, I'm getting mad every time I see the intro because I'm wearing my awesome knit Rangers hat and it's gone.
Why is it gone?
Fell out of my car and somebody must have walked by and swiped it.
Oh
no, yeah, dude. It while I was taking stuff out of my truck, it must have fell out. And then I figured I'd find it right there next to it because who's going to swipe a friggin' hat that's on the ground? And apparently somebody really wanted that Ranger hat.
Oh, sweet ass hat like that, I would.
I'm heartbroken. I got to find a new one. I got to see if that shit's like 10 years old.
Speaking of sweet ass hats, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm wearing the official Scoreboard Addicts podcast snapback. All right, in black, stitched on front, only found on Bonfire.
Fancy.
Nice.
Get them all last, which is once again, that's why I'm Wayne. All I need is the black shirt and some long hair, and I'm Wayne.
You can never be Wayne.
I got the hat already. I'm halfway there.
Well, you're wrong.
While we're talking about
excellent.
Speaking of things on the floor out on the car, I got to my office this morning. I couldn't find my office keys, so I was like, "Oh, I must have left them at home." So I got to the spare, opened up my office, and then when we were leaving for the day, my keys were just sitting on the floor, and like that holds the keys for like the entire office building, like the front door to get in, my office. I probably should be saying this out loud, but luckily I found it. It was just sitting there, chilling all day on the floor. Well,
could have went into your computer system and put a whole bunch of guilty pleas in.
They could have done a lot more than that.
Where's our intern at?
Oh shit!
What are we paying?
Wow.
What's up, guys?
Jesus.
What's going on, Sal?
What's up? What's going on,
Hey,
guys?
Sal,
How
what's
are you?
going on, buddy? I didn't see you there.
Yeah.
And with us as always is our intern, Stat Guy Sal.
What's up,
God.
everybody?
What is wrong?
Somebody's a
Well, you
little
know
upset he
what?
took
That guy
another
Sal,
job and he got.
I let him sitting there in the corner and sulk a little bit because it looks like the Nets are going to be down 2-0. So
Yeah, they are. They're down.
yeah, they're down 2-0.
They're down,
Right?
I was promised no basketball.
You were promised no basketball, but that was the only basketball you're going to get.
Yeah,
Listen,
honestly, I don't want to talk about them.
I was
I'm disappointed.
I was offered a bet for $100, and my buddy Billy said
I think I saw
that
this.
the Nets would get a championship before the Rangers, and I said I can't bet on my team. I can't jinx the team. I'm not going to be that guy. But I really want to take that bet.
Not looking like that right now with the Nets going down 0-2.
Dude, listen, the Nets are going to fall apart after this horrible season. I mean, who leaves, who stays? They're not going to get any better. And I think the Rangers with their young group only get better. So I don't know. But I can't do it. I can't bet on my team. Billy is a Devils fan.
Nothing worse than somebody from New York that roots for New Jersey.
Listen, he has a legitimate reason, been a Devils fan since he was a kid. I believe somebody in his family bought him a Devils jersey, turned him on to hockey, and I respect it. I really do. And you know what? I love having friends that are Devils fans. I really enjoy that rivalry. I really enjoy that back and forth because the Devils, listen, the Devils when we were younger have a lot, they have a lot of shit that they can talk, you know what I mean? 4 cups and a little bit of a dynasty run, and then all of a sudden the 2-line pass goes away and they shit the bed because the trap is gone, folks.
Yeah.
Hi, Billy.
But I'm sure we have some sort of schedule to keep.
Yeah, we have a schedule to keep, but I fucked that up. So for anyone in the audio, probably be like, "What's this guy talking about?" It's a podcast.
At least he's owning it. At least he's owning
We're
it.
doing it live. I own it though. I didn't mess up, but because we already have him here, we might as well just start it with the WWE Trivia. Let's just shake things up a little bit. So let's just do it. WWE Trivia, Wrestling Trivia, presented by Shocked Energy.
I love that promo.
ShockEnergy.com and use promo code SAPOD for I believe it's 10% off. Would it be 20?
Dude, I love it. I feel like I'm going to knock back a Shocked Energy and go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Take one of those while I'm driving to work and run a couple people off the road. Fuck it.
I got hype for that.
Matt, welcome back to WWE Trivia.
Hello.
Thanks for always joining us weekly. He's always there waiting, just patiently waiting.
Thanks for always having me.
Yeah. We did have a guest, but unfortunately, I guess everything. He's okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. But he apologizes. My brother-in-law, Gary, big WWE fan. Lifelong WWE fan. His son as well. Got him into it. I mean, he has a plethora of authentic belts that are just ridiculous.
I saw that.
Mad about that.
Yeah, Matt might buy one.
Checking those out in his basement. He's looking to offload them now because he has too much memorabilia. But I mean, the amount of shows he's gone to. My nephew Lewis, he got to meet John Cena a whole bunch of times when he was a kid. That was his favorite wrestler. Yeah, dude. So
top five.
Couldn't make it tonight. He got in a little fender bender, and he just didn't want to take it out on all of us in his bad mood. So,
well, as long as everyone's all right, that's the important part.
Absolutely.
We're getting started with it, though?
Was that?
We're getting started with it?
Yeah, we're getting started with it right now.
You ready?
Go.
And no free plugs.
Yeah, no free plugs. All right. And first question is a clip.
Oh.
Get ready. It is.
Come on out, you rapist!
Oh, wait, we're on one.
We did that one already.
All right. Who is The Rock talking to in this clip for question number 1?
Who in the green hell are you? Oh, no, don't answer that. The Rock knows who you are. Oh, yeah, The Rock knows exactly who you are. There's a green shirt, H on your chest, green mask. Oh, you're the Hamburglar. Yeah, you're that cat that works for McDonald's. Go get me a cheeseburger. Go get The Rock a cheeseburger. No ketchup. As a matter of fact, no, don't go nowhere.
Somebody gave it away, but I thought it was a funny clip. Wanted to do a little Rock this week. It's not all Rock. The question.
I watched his rockumentary this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm locked in.
All right. Whoever wants to go first, raise your hand, I guess. Who is it? I can't say. Sorry.
Shane Helms, the Hurricane.
Oh, that is incorrect. It is Hurricane Helms. I'm joking. I'm just fucking with you. That is correct.
The Hurricane.
All right, Hurricane. Everyone has
The
the
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
The
There we
Hurricane.
go. All right, let me pull up my WWE trivia. All right.
Come out, you rapists.
She's gonna do that every
That
week.
stays there forever. It's probably going to be heard once a week.
Yep.
On our
That's
WWF trivia.
I think they play that at Steelers games.
They're
Wow.
Right before the Steelers take the field.
Actually, they retired that one. They're not going to do it anymore, but they're going to do it in Cleveland, I heard.
Yeah, they're going to do it at Browns games.
All right. So, question number 2. Started off as a valet for Mark Henry, this diva went from valet to champion. She defeated Deborah to win the Women's World Championship on June 14, 1999. She then went on to feud with Tori, in which she defended her title at SummerSlam 1999. She went on to compete against Tori in the first ever Women's Championship hardcore match. Who is this diva? Why with a diva instead of a superstar this time? Switch things up a little bit.
What was the year again?
1999. Everyone's really quiet. Everyone's really thinking. This might be a I thought this would be easy.
Finished.
That's a tough one.
2 seconds. She started as Mark Henry's valet. I was like, all right, done.
I don't remember who that was.
I don't remember either.
Marijuana does that to you, pal.
All right. Well,
Hey, it's 420. Why not?
all right.
Yeah,
Well, we're
my
gonna have to
God.
go. We're gonna have to go quick here, boys. So if you don't have an answer, you don't have an answer. We're rushing you guys.
No,
All
I
right.
got it.
All right, I got
Nick,
it.
we'll go with you first.
Ivory.
Yes.
That's correct.
Oh wow.
Lucky
Nice.
guess.
Matt has
Ivory.
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 Sal has Ivory. TJ, who's the fabulous moolah?
No, I went. I took a shot in the dark and said Stacy Keibler because she's hot.
I agree with that too.
I mean, she
I'm gonna-
definitely is hot.
Because she is hot.
Yeah.
Give him partial credit.
Give him
Best legs in the business.
Yeah, best legs in the business. All right. Who was the special outside enforcer for the main event at WrestleMania 14? This one was a fun one. If TJ needs a hint, it's WrestleMania 14.
That's a good one.
Good hint.
I figured the other guys already knew, but that's all right. Try to give him a little help there.
Yeah, it doesn't help me at all.
He said, what'd you say?
It doesn't
Really?
help me at all. Yeah,
wow.
I'm not. I don't rewatch this stuff. I go off of just.
It's not a
whatever I
wrestling
remember.
thing.
But it's not a
It's
wrestling.
not a
that's why.
wrestling thing.
That's why I did the impression. Something special sometimes, you know?
Not a wrestling.
He still doesn't get it.
It's awful.
He'll get it when he hears the answer.
Yeah, he will.
Get it. He will get it. He was in the
Can I-
Hangover.
Can I give my answer real quick?
I got you.
Yeah, give me a
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you had to put the right inflection on it.
You gotta talk with a high pitched voice.
I didn't put the high pitch voice.
I would like to give you my answer. My answer is Iron Mike Tyson,
That is correct.
Mike Tyson.
former
Mike
heavyweight
Tyson.
champion of the world.
Nick, Sal, Matt, all correct. TJ is now correct. Thank you. You're welcome.
Just say,
Yeah, try to
I'll
get
fuck
it.
you till you love me, and then always Mike Tyson. One of the greatest lines ever. Shouted at reporters.
Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
All right, question number 4. In 1999, WWF Fully Loaded, Triple H defeated The Rock to become the #1 contender at SummerSlam. What kind of match did he defeat The Rock in? Like some of you guys write really quickly. I was in the middle of it. Like Matt, look at that, Matt. Oh, that was cocky. Matt already put the cap back on his Sharpie. Look at that. Sal's thinking about it, and Matt's already done. That's how confident he is. And just because he's so confident, I want to see you go first to see if you're right. Because if you're wrong, it'll be hilarious.
Am I ready? Can I go?
Yeah, I think we're all good.
A strap match.
That is correct.
Ooh.
Sal, Nick, what do you guys got?
I put
Strap
the
match.
Strap match?
I put the Brahma bull rope match, which is
that
was essentially a strap. It's a strap match, but it's the Rock strap.
They give it to him.
All
Yeah.
right, you got it. Judges say
I'll
you
allow
get
it.
that. TJ,
That one with a no holds barred match.
would you put hardcore match?
No, no holds barred.
Oh, give him the X. There we go. All right, time for final Jeopardy of wrestling trivia. Here we go. Risk your points.
Oh, me, Nick, and Matt have 8 points, and TJ has 4.
TJ has 4.5 because he got the Stacy keyboard.
4.5. Sorry.
Wouldn't that make it 5?
Yeah,
No,
right.
we
There you
gave
go.
him- No. We didn't give him half credit. We gave him half a point.
Oh, okay.
I'm risking 4 points to win by a half, hopefully.
Oh, I hope it'll be the best. Remember, last week we had co-champions for the first time ever. Now, first time a champion win by 0.5.
Oh, I should have did a great intro of ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
All right, I'm going all in.
You guys are all in?
Yeah.
No, I'm only doing 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch, because I did 6.
Oh,
Couldn't
man.
give me the half a point, you sons of
All right.
bitches.
I hope you boys are ready. WrestleMania 18, there was an Intercontinental Championship match. Who won and who did they defeat?
It's a two-parter.
Two-parter, but yeah, I guess you'll have to get both parts right in order to get it.
I'm scratching out my original answer.
That's fine. That's fine. No one's trying to question your integrity there, Sal. Looks like everyone's ready. TJ's ready because he probably doesn't know it. he's like, I'm already done because I just guessed.
Listen, when in doubt,
I know it.
you think Intercontinental Champion, there's only one guy to pick.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it's not that guy.
It's actually not that
I went Chris
WrestleMania
Jericho
18?
defeating Christian.
guy. All right, ready?
Yes.
Matt, go ahead.
It's my man RVD, and he beat William Regal.
That is correct. Congratulations, Matt. All right, Sal, what'd you have?
I put Edge. He beat Booker T.
No, that's wrong. Sal would not be repeat champion. Nick.
I put Chris Jericho beat Eddie Guerrero because I had a lot of doubt. And I said to myself, Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho has the most championships of all time.
All right, well, TJ retain. Actually, well, no, TJ can't win, right?
I can't win. I only got a 0.5.
Oh, you already got it wrong.
Yeah. I told you. I said Chris Jericho.
Oh, you did say Chris Jericho. All right, then. Well, Matt, you're the winner, the big winner with 12 points.
Thank
He's
you.
back on top of the world.
He's a heel, so he gets booed.
He gets
Thank
booed,
you.
yeah, 100%.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, we appreciate you coming on, taking the title back.
I thought you were going to say taking the time away from his cloud of smoke.
And this is
on
just
Hitler.
weird, man. I don't know why he would. Why would you say such a thing, Matt?
This
For
is
those in the
gonna.
audio,
I
right on the bottom
disagree.
shows that there's a disclaimer that Matt thinks the best free agent signing is a toss-up between Jacoby Ellsbury and Carl Provano. It's just absolutely horrible.
That's a hot take right there, man.
Top two best signings ever.
Oh man! All right then. Well, thank you again, Matt, for coming on. We appreciate you.
We can catch
Appreciate
Matt
you guys.
over at
Thank
T
you.
Squared Circle on the Instagrams and the Twitters. And you can catch him up over on 1 second. Hold on, I'll tell you what it's called. Whatnot, where you'll be able to get some sweet stuff from him, Funko Pops, wrestling action figures, and things of that
right.
nature. And if he talks to Gary, he might have some wrestling belts to sell at some point in the near future.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe.
Gary, get in contact with me.
That sounded creepy.
That sounded like you wanted him naked, thigh deep in tofu.
Hey, if that's how it sounds like, that's how it sounds like.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
TJ looks really disturbed.
He does.
It is my
All right.
brother-in-law, so I don't know. Makes it more creepy.
All right. We will see you later, Matt.
Later, guys.
Peace out. All right, boys. That was a fun one. Fun little clips.
It
And
seemed
now
really
we-
easy until we got to the end. Just want to throw
The
that out.
end. The end one was hard.
Yeah, I wanted to make it a little simpler, and then just throw a really tough one at the end. Just fuck with everybody. Be like, Anthony's not in his game this week. He made really easy questions, and then I just threw it really, really hard.
I feel like Gary would have been insulted
Why?
because that would have been really easy, and he was anticipating like a,
It was
The
it
first
was hard
four
again.
were easy, but then the fifth one was kind of you had to think.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll move on to the New York Yankees and the shit show that they are. Even though I think that they already won today.
They won
Yeah,
today.
they won. They won.
Won today. I mean, they
They
beat
did
the
win.
Detroit Tigers. Not
They
really
did
saying
win.
much, but the
They
shit show
kept,
over the weekend.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They kept what's his name from hitting his 3,000th hit, which was nice because if that
Miggy.
would happen, I
Yeah,
would have been pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, one more
So-
tomorrow, right? Against Detroit.
Yeah,
One more
tomorrow
against
it's
Detroit.
Jordan Montgomery versus former Yankee Michael Pineda.
Ooh.
That'd be a good one.
Did he
All right, so he'll get
get
his 3,000th.
I don't know.
Montgomery's a pretty good.
Gumby's good. It's just they give him no run
No
support.
support.
Yeah, they
at
don't.
all. So he'll give up 2 runs over 7 innings. They'll score half a run.
Yeah. Didn't it happen Sunday? Did he pitch Sunday? No,
No,
Nestor.
he
Nestor
pitched
pitched
Saturday, and it happened Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday happened too until they finally had that hailstorm came and they were able to their offense pretty much woke up in that game. And if it wasn't for the hailstorm, they probably would have got swept by the Orioles.
Yep.
So it's pretty embarrassing.
You know what? I mean, as far as the Yankees go, and as far as losing to these teams, it seems like everybody else is out to a slow start. So they're really not losing ground right now. They would have been nice to take advantage of playing the Orioles, but I mean, right now, them and the Angels are in the lead in the AL. I think they're both 7-5 right now.
Yeah.
But everybody else is right there at either 6-5 or 6-6. So it's early in the season. It is what it is. But it's just the games that they lose, they just cannot get any. I mean, they're getting 4 hit, 5 hit. They're getting nothing going offensively. And I'm sick and tired of hearing people defend Joey Gallo on fucking Twitter. He's batting like 137 right now. Cut the shit.
He's brutal.
Cut the shit. Like, just stop. Like, it's ridiculous. Just enough is enough. You want to spew the analytics bullshit and how he's a good hitter. He's fucking not. To the asshole that was arguing with Nick on Twitter about, running down Pete Rose for Joey Gallo, suck a ball bag already. Like, how you feeling right now?
Yeah.
I bet you Pete Rose can come out of retirement if they let him play and bat more than 200. Okay? I can almost guarantee it because he'll make contact.
I saw somebody running down Gary Sheffield Jr. for saying that analytics is BS. And then 80 other people, he was like, yo, I don't know why these people are on my jock. And like 80 other people were like, because you suck, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look at all, like, you just proved his point. Like, and they were all like, because you're not important, but he was important enough for 80 of you to reply. I'm like, and ultimately, Gary Sheffield Jr. is in agreement with us that analytics are bullshit because the Yankees won today. And how did they do it? By breaking analytics. What did they do? They stole bases and they bunted.
Yeah.
That's how they won today. And it's an ancient, I mean, listen, you call me old fashioned, you get these people that are the same age as us or like a year younger and they're like, oh, whatever, boomer. Listen, a fact of baseball. The first key to hitting is hit them where they ain't. Okay. The second key is good things happen when you put the ball in play.
Yep.
So striking out matters. All right. Exit velo doesn't fucking matter. You only talk about exit velo when the guy made an out.
Yeah.
Right. Like nobody ever sits there when you get a base hit and go, well, he hit it real hard. Nobody cares. Whether you hit a bloop, a dying quail, a tweener, a duck, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, right? You got to hit. So you don't really sit there
low when you make outs because you want to say at least he's connecting with, he's putting the barrel on the ball and he's hitting the ball hard. They'll fall in sometime. That's the only way it matters in the least bit. But it's the arguments on Twitter. These keyboard warriors are all fucking kids that grew up watching baseball, never playing baseball because they were too lazy playing fucking video games and don't want to go outside. And I'm not going to listen to some little douchebag tell me how analytics is the way to go when they couldn't put a ball in play to save their life. I don't want to hear it anymore. You never played the game. You never fucking grinded it out. And guess what? Baseball, analytics-driven baseball is boring. Home run or nothing is boring because more times than not, it's nothing. It's not a home run. I'd rather see fucking bunts. I'd rather see steals. I'd rather see seeing eye singles. I'd rather see hard hit balls. I'd rather see, they took away taking the guy out at second base to break up a double play. But I want to see hard, grinded out baseball. That's what's entertaining. All or nothing swings is not entertaining. It's entertaining 2 out of 10 at bats. That's it. If you're lucky.
Yeah. And my point was the other day was somebody posted about how like Joey Gallo's a good ball player. He's just been unlucky. And they're like, his exit velo is like higher than most, and his expectation of it being a hit is like so and so. And the reason why he's not getting on base because he's not getting on base because he fucking strikes out 4 times a game.
I think they say he struck out 14 times so far this season.
Yeah, and he struck out 4 times yesterday. Like he got a golden sombrero yesterday, and we're gonna be like, oh well, you know what? If his exit velo was up, he'd probably get a base hit. He doesn't make contact. That stat is irrelevant to me if the guy doesn't even put the ball in play.
He doesn't even have an extra base hit yet.
He doesn't. I don't think he does. He
went for one and got hosed at second base by about 30 feet.
Yeah.
And then stood up and was like, what the fuck? What the fuck would be you getting thrown out at second for trying to take 2 on a ball that bounced off the wall into the fielder's glove?
He's the true 3 outcome. He either strikeouts, walks, or hits a home run. And I haven't seen him hit many home runs yet. So he's basically to me is a 2 outcome player right now. And most of it is pretty much strikeouts because he's not even getting on base right now.
The concept of The ball exit velocity bullshit just drives me crazy. What was the exit velocity on the hit that Luis Gonzalez got to win the 2001 World Series?
Who cares?
Does anybody know?
Yeah.
When you get a hit, nobody gives a fuck about the ball exit ratio. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Get hits. Get hits. Good things happen when you put the ball in play. Gleyber Torres laid down a bunt today. It was an awful bunt straight back to the pitcher. But because Tim LeCastro is fast and he hustled to second base, the pitcher threw the ball away into center field. LeCastro got up and kept going to third, and he scored eventually. Okay? When the ball's – if he strikes out, none of that happens. If he strikes out right there, if Torres strikes out, none of that happens, okay? Good things happen when you put the ball in play. And somebody like Esteban Florial right now would be great for this Yankee team because he is fast, because he does hustle down the first base line, because he isn't looking for a walk or a home run. He's not lighting it up in AAA right now. I think he's batting like 250, but he's got more home runs than Joey Gallo does right now.
Yeah.
And he's damn sure faster than Joey Gallo is.
What about Marwin Gonzalez? He's on the bench. Put him in left.
Yeah.
He had some pop in spring training.
Dude,
Absolutely.
I'd take
Anything
100
better
players
than
like
striking
fucking
a walk.
Ichiro. Dude, I'll take 100 players like Ichiro just who, for a career, just put the ball in play. Made a career out of putting the ball in play. That's it.
No, but that guy that was arguing with me would tell you that Ichiro wasn't a good player because despite collecting like 6,000 career professional hits,
between
none of them were like
he
he didn't hit 600 home runs, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Well, besides that,
it's
I mean, the other
amazing.
issue the Yankees are having right now is Garrett Cole just not pitching well. I mean, the rest of the starting pitching is actually pretty good. Like,
Listen, that's
really
what
good.
Cortez is a
Nestor Cortez
fucking
had
beast.
12
He's your ace.
he had 12 Ks on Sunday. He had only had 15 outs. He only five innings. But that was impressive. Monty's been pretty good. Just gets no run support. Severino's looking pretty good for someone finally coming back from injury. Probably get that Severino of old, the one that was back in 2019.
Today, specifically, he got into a bases loaded jam with one out. He induced a line drive, like a liner to shortstop that caused an out, and then struck out the following batter to get out of the inning without giving up any runs, and then came out for another inning thereafter. He had a good outing today where he faced some adversity. It was cold today, not as cold as it was yesterday, but it was cold today. And he faced a little adversity today, probably for the first time this season, and he pulled out of it, which is good to see when you can do something like that.
Yeah.
But you're right, Monty looks great. I love Gumby, I really do. Gumby kind of reminds me of Pettit a little bit, just that he's a lefty, he's big.
Yeah.
He's got like those big legs, and ironically enough, he's 47 after Pettit was 46.
Interesting.
But I do like Gumby's demeanor. He never looks like he gets shaken or upset about anything. Very calm on the mound, as opposed to Cole, that looks like everything under the sun is pissing him off.
Yep. Yeah. Everything bothers him.
And when he's uncomfortable, you could tell he's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. But Gumby's very easygoing.
Horrible poker face for Garrett Cole, because when he's mad, it's like he doesn't have it today. He just doesn't.
I think as far as the hitting struggles are concerned, I think bunting today was good. I think stealing bases, a lot of people. Rizzo stole a base. He stole third today.
He stole base yesterday too.
Yep. So they're running more, which is good. I think Judge is pressing because he doesn't have a contract right now. I think it is affecting him at the plate. Stanton's still hitting the ball very hard.
Exit below.
But they're singles. And you know what? He's hitting singles, but he's a little quicker on that single or a little bit later on that single, and it's a double. So it doesn't always have to be a home run. You know what I know? I know that if the bases are juiced and you hit a home run, the pitcher that comes in next feels like he started a brand new inning. But if there's a runner on second base, he feels like, oh shit, I got a runner on second base. Like sometimes hitting that bases clearing home run is not the greatest thing in the world. It's great that you got the runs, but it takes the pressure completely off the pitcher. Because if he gets taken out and there's another guy that comes in, that guy starts off basically with a free inning. Like, okay, I just got to get one out. That's it. But if there's a runner on third, it changes the momentum a little bit. Having people on base is always a little bit more pressure filled as a pitcher. And I know TJ could definitely agree with that. Sometimes if you're having a bad outing, you just want the bases. I just hit a fucking home run, so I don't got to fucking deal with this shit right now. As opposed to fucking everybody hitting a single and putting a quarter in the merry-go-round on your ass.
Yeah. What I don't like is they had said early on that they weren't going to play Gleyber so much at shortstop, but then they've actually played him more than we'd like to see him.
Yeah.
And like whenever he's in there, I feel like there's always going to be an error, throw an error, or he's going to just fuck something up. IKF, I think he's going to come around.
It's unlucky, Ant. Just like Gallo hitting balls directly at players. It's unlucky.
I don't mind IKF. I think he's not here to be an offensive juggernaut. He's here to be.
He's doing good though.
And that's fine. I don't really dog on him too much. I just don't like. And I don't know. I think Nick.
Who's that? IKF.
IKF, yeah, he's just defensive.
He's 5 for his last like 15 or something like that.
No, he's starting to hit again. Yeah, no, I know.
He's 7 for his last 15. That's what it is.
Yeah, I said he's eventually gonna come around. I'm like, but he's really here for defensive purposes.
Yeah, I haven't seen the sparkling defense yet.
Yeah,
better than Glaber for certain, but nothing amazing.
My question to you, Nick, is I don't know if you agree with me on this point, but when it comes to changing the lineup constantly.
I hate that.
You don't hate that, right? I don't get.
I hate that. I hate that.
The Yankees are that team that just constantly always moves the lineup around. And I feel like have a little consistency. Put the guys in the same spot. I mean, Hicks has been leading off, I think, the last couple games, which has been positive for him. I think he led off in Baltimore too on Sunday, which he wasn't horrible in that game. I think he had a hit.
He's been doing good.
Yeah, he's been playing well lately.
As a player, you feel better when you know where you're going to be, what you need to do, where you got to go. I don't know, 7 years I batted in front of TJ. I batted second, TJ batted third for like 7 years. It's almost like we reviewed Mr. 3000. I'm standing on third. Boca's batting, and I know Boca's going to lay down a bunt because Boca knows that I'm thinking what he's thinking, and I know he's thinking. And that's how you feel. I know that if I'm on second base and TJ scratches his balls, he's swinging away.
Yeah.
So I know, like, hey, don't run right now, because if you run right now, you might get doubled off. But that's the stuff that you learn through and then on top of that, like, just to start the game off, like, all right, we're home team today. I get back in the dugout. Let me grab my helmet, throw it on. You don't have to sit there and go like, when am I batting? Because that is a thing. At the professional level, it's not a thing because you have the stadium all around you. You know where you're batting, blah, blah, blah. You're a professional. You do this every day. But if yesterday you but Derek Jeter knew he was batting second his whole career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the Yankees had that dynasty together, they roughly put out the same lineup every single day for 162 games for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you giving something away to the opponent? Yeah, I guess so. They know how to navigate your lineup, but when your lineup's swinging on all cylinders, it doesn't really make a difference. But you feel good. You feel good knowing that, like, you can see the guy that bats 6 guys after you or 4 guys after you, and you're like, oh shit, the lineup's about to turn over. I'm on deck or I'm in the hole. Like, it's a good feeling to know like where you are. You don't have to sit there and go, oh shit, I'm batting. Like you never get that feeling.
Yeah.
But not only that, listen, the game of baseball is all about feel and it's about energy. And I know if Nick gets on base in front of me, all I'm thinking is I got to put this ball in play and get that son of a bitch around some way, somehow. But at the same point, if let's say somebody that's a nonstop pop out guy batting behind you, now let's say I do get on base. Now I'm thinking, all right, take a bag, try to move over more because he's not going to hit a ground ball to move me over. He's probably going to put it in the air. Let me put myself in a position to at least advance on a pop fly and not. So if I'm on first base and I got somebody that I know is predominantly a up in the sky hitter and it's either over the head or a pop out, I know I got to try to take second base to put myself in a position to move over to third on a pop out.
And you got to do it early.
But that's what I mean. If you're moving that lineup around, you don't know how to play that. You're not playing that mental chess game. I mean, there's so many things that you can do in baseball to just put yourself and your team in a better position. And if you don't have that feel for your team or who's batting around you, it kind of puts you at a handicap.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. So moving on, I know I think we pretty much dissected the Yankees' first couple of weeks so far for the season. But moving on to the next, another New York team that has some playoffs coming up, the New York Rangers. So Sal, we're gonna say goodbye to you while we talk a little Rangers. But we'll come back to you shortly. We do have a guest on at 10:40. After his guest, then we're gonna bring you back for a little Does Gen Z Know? All right.
All right, sounds good.
All right, boys. 3 shutouts in a row for the New York Rangers. What are you shaking your head like that?
Dude, it's beautiful. It really is. Tied for the Metro right now. I mean, and you know what's funny is looking how hot Toronto and the Panthers are, and we're just right there. I mean,
Yeah.
You're talking about leading the Eastern by a difference of 4 wins, and we're in the mix for leading the Eastern. I mean, this team is playing like a team, dude. They do all the right things, they check all the right boxes, and we have an opportunity right now to, not that it matters much. You just want to get to the playoffs and have a hot start in the playoffs, but to win the Metro would be huge. It would be absolutely huge. It would, set the tone going into the playoffs. And we're right there. And I like the fact that we're right there because I feel like it puts a little heat on this team to, no. We're not giving an inch. We're not giving a centimeter. We're going out there. We're fucking winning. And that's the attitude you want to have going into the playoffs. You don't want to be sitting there like, listen, we can't move in position anyway. We're going to be where we're at in the playoffs. Let's just go out there and think about the playoffs. No. You're still fighting, and you want to have that fighting mentality, right? And you want to have that, not pressure, but just something to battle towards and for, and everything matters. And the more games you can play where there's something on the line and something matters, the better it is, especially going into the playoffs where every single game matters, every single minute of every single period matters. So it's good to keep that intensity high going into the playoffs. I mean, Shesterkin's keeping that intensity high. I love it. I laughed my ass off because somebody put a statistic sheet up asking, should Shesterkin really start in the playoffs? Because right now I think he has a 2.0 goal against, or 2.01 goal against average. And what's his name that played a couple games that we brought up from the minors? Not Haska. Help me out. He only played a couple games. What? Goalie? Yeah.
Oh shit.
I thought it was. Did you say it was Haska? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was.
No, it's not Haska. Haska has like a 7.0 goal against average. But whoever, I can't think of his name right now. He only played a couple games. He did well, but he's like a 2.00. So he's 0.01 underneath Shesterkin, and this guy wants to throw out there. I'm hoping he did it satirically. That maybe Shesterkin shouldn't start. It's like, dude, stop it, shut up. Don't put that fucking negative juju out there. Don't, even if you're joking around, just keep that shit at home. Laugh about it to yourself. Cut the shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the hottest goalies right now. I mean, he's obviously I think he's goalie in the league.
He's the best goalie in the league, hands down. He's the best goalie. I
saw something today that said he could give up 14 goals out of the next 15 tries and still lead the NHL in save percentage.
There you go.
On fire. And it just goes to show you the type of year this team is having, the standout players, with Kreider and Shesterkin. But the group itself, I mean, Panarin, Zibanejad, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Trouba's having a hell of a year. Fox is having an amazing year. I think he has 69 points right now. That's one thing I feel like over the years is the Rangers lacked was the absolutely.
How many points does Fox have?
69.
Excellent.
I mean, so wait, hold on, real quick before you keep going. Yeah, I heard you say Trouba.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, no, we're talking about hockey here. Okay, we're talking about hockey. Kopp was living with the Trubas as he got traded to the Rangers. I'm sure you were aware of that. They're like elementary school buddies.
Yeah,
and when he got traded to the Rangers, he was staying with the Trubas, and he just moved out like 2 days ago. Thoughts?
Oh, I wouldn't leave.
Right?
Dude, you're not leaving.
They're going, why don't you just change your fucking socks while we're at it?
Yeah, come on. I'm not fucking leaving. Yeah. I'm not fucking leaving. I don't think you ruined that momentum and that camaraderie and that traveling to the game every day together. You don't do that.
No. And he goes, oh, it's nice to be together. And it was like brothers living in the same house together, but you have to have your own space. You could do that after the season, Andrew Kopp.
Yeah.
You could do that after the season, okay? Fuck. I think he has the most points of any player that was traded at the deadline.
Wow.
And he went and he just left the home that brought him that.
You can't do that.
Why would you do that? That's like shaving your face or shaving your underwear.
I agree.
Yeah,
you can't do it. But
it's like stepping on a foul line.
I think I'll be sleeping on this couch until I suck.
Back to my point, I think that the one thing the Rangers lacked over the last couple of years is offensive, defensemen, and we have that right now, and that's what you need, especially going into the playoffs. you need that guy at the point feeding that puck to the net and getting those goals. And especially the way Kreider handles the tip and redirection shots, it's phenomenal. I really love this team. I think this team has a great shot at going for it. And I love how everybody's still down on them and not giving them much of a chance to win the cup. I love it. And I mean, I think yesterday, they threw up on Twitter how Gallant is the only other coach to get to 50 wins this early in a year, especially his first year as a coach. And the only other person to do that, Mike Keenan, 1994, baby.
93, 94.
Come on.
It's good company.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's hope it's like 1994. I like to party like that. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Question
I'm
yesterday.
ready for it.
Go to the city and tip over some yellow cabs.
So Panarin had another 2 assists yesterday, so he's at 70 now. He's closing in on 100 points this season. And then Ryan Strome finds a net twice, which is, I know he's been people make fun of him on Twitter that he can't hit an open net because there's been a couple opportunities he just misses it. One of the jokes was that they were surprised he hit the empty netter because it was wide open. So what do you guys feel about that? Is that positive? We see Strome trying to turn the corner there. I mean, Panarin's quietly had an amazing season.
Strome was pressing a little bit when he was missing those nets. He started taking bad penalties and stuff like that. You don't want to see that happen. But Strome is a part of this team. He's an integral part of this team. And for him to be on that stat sheet, you want to see that. I mean, he's got to be active on that sheet to get this team going, because once playoff hockey starts, it's the goals are few and far between, and they're hard-fought goals, and you need everybody on that ice to be able to put the puck in the back of the net. You can't just rely on Panarin. You can't rely on Zibanejad. You can't rely on Kreider. You got to rely on everybody with the puck with a shooting lane to be able to bury it, because you're going to see a lot of 2-1 games, 3-1 games. Every goal counts. Every goal is, a huge momentum shift and puts the opponent on their heels. So you need everybody on that team confident with the puck on their stick, not just trying to give it away and dish it off and pass it and force a pass that's unnecessary. You want people hungry to put the puck in the back of the net.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, when you get into the playoffs, it becomes a situation where your star is going to get the heavy defense. He's going to get a strong arm. He's going to get the big hits thrown his way. He's going to get all the pressure put on him. And more often than not, you're going to see a guy that is your third or your fourth. He'll get a goal, because it's almost like, in baseball where the 9-hitter gets the game-winning hit because the pitcher spent so much energy trying to get out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that he just kind of lets it go for the last 4 guys. And it's the same thing in hockey. The first 2 lines are getting so much attention. They're getting so much work that you at some point you let up. You let your hands down for a split second, and that's when that quick jab comes in, and it's somebody in the third, the fourth line that you weren't really expecting it, but you didn't hustle that hard for that one freaking exchange, that one shift, or you got caught between shifts, and they have one fast guy on their fourth line that he's just lightning. He don't score much, but he's freaking lightning, and he beats you. And shit like that happens all the time, Like I could see Vetrano playing a big role. I'm not saying he's a fourth line guy, but I'm saying his speed is a killer in the third period. Absolute killer.
Yep.
That kid doesn't get gassed. I don't know how he moves that quick. So I think speed kills, and we finally have some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
So the Rangers have the Islanders tomorrow night, then Bruins, and then we see the Hurricanes again. I would love to go into that game tied up for the Metro and make a statement win. Followed up by Canadians and Capitals. I think the Rangers are still tied with you want to see 2 wins out of that. Obviously, Islanders and Bruins. 2 huge rival teams. You want to see 2 wins, and if we can go into that Hurricanes game with it meaning the Metro, essentially, you want to see the Rangers come away with that win, big time.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we have great hockey to close out this season. I mean,
6 games, right?
Dude,
6
5.
Oh, 5. Knicks 4.
5. Islanders, Bruins, Hurricanes, Canadians, and then Capitals.
My fault. So the Vikings, the Vegas Knights have 4, and they're 4 out.
4 points out. Yeah,
they're 4 points out. They have 4 games left. So your boys can make it.
I know. I know.
Listen, it's in their hands. They got to run the gamut. They got to get four wins.
They gotta win the games though. They blew the game against the Devils. So listen,
the Rangers blew one against the Devils this year too.
That's true. It's true. It happens. Yeah. I know Nick's bust my child. I'm obviously a Ranger fan, but I cheer for the Golden Knights.
Is he though?
I am. I've always been a Ranger fan. I just cheer for the Golden Knights. It's like something different.
You have a Golden Knights jersey in your closet right now.
I do, 100%.
Like you're a Golden Knights fan.
I love the city of Vegas.
Dude,
so
I'm sorry, I don't have a single other team jersey other than Rangers jerseys, except fictional team, the Charlestown Chiefs. I got my Slapshot jersey, and that's it. That team doesn't exist.
I was thinking about getting a Minnesota Mighty Ducks, a Division 5 jersey, but that's not a Mighty. That's not an Anaheim jersey, right?
No,
it's a Division 5, right?
Because people won't make the distinction.
Because Anaheim came out after Division 5. So I was thinking about getting a Charlie Conway. I don't know. I have thoughts about it, but I never did.
I know we all differ on this, but I'm a fan of jerseys and different players, but you guys don't.
Yeah, you're a fan of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Awful.
Because
you're a bandwagon fan. That's why you like the Yankees, Duke, and the Lakers.
I love Las Vegas. So.
The Cowboys.
It was a cool story in the first year. They were expansion team going to the Stanley Cup. You guys can't tell me. And when they play the Killer song, I love the Killer. So like they played the Killer song that entire playoff run.
You mean the 2 songs the Killers have?
How dare you? The Killers have a lot more than 2 songs. You son of a
bitch.
They?
Oh, sorry, 2 good songs. My bad.
One of those songs is on every white person's list to get the party moving. Mr. Brightside. You know that. Every white person loves that song.
I've heard that at one of your parties at least more than once.
At least every party you have. And you come to my house, it's going to be Mr. Brightside's flag.
No Was that doubt. Your wedding song?
Was that?
Was that your wedding song?
No, my wedding song was not Mr. Brightside.
Oh,
okay. It was. Where it's oh no, the one that he had was I had a girlfriend that looked like a boyfriend.
No, you such a asshole. Wow. You dick. That's not even cool.
What song is that? I forgot.
It's their first single. I forgot. Somebody told me.
So it was your wedding song, is what you're saying? Because how
no,
did you know
it wasn't my wedding song, asshole? That's very offensive. Both me and my wife, you son of a bitch.
I was at his wedding. It was his wedding song.
No, you better take that back, because otherwise, Mrs. Choice is going to be fighting.
Don't you?
That's true. I was at his wedding. The wedding. She doesn't watch this show anyway.
She does too.
She's better things to do.
She watches the This Is Us version of this show.
She does.
That's terrible. I saw you starting some trouble with that This Is Us shit.
First of all, it's actually one of our highest downloaded episodes. If you want to be honest.
Oh my god.
So what does that say about you guys?
What it says is me and Nick aren't getting our fucking man card revoked, unlike some people.
Hey, you know what?
It's in the first place to have it revoked.
You know what? You can't hate, but it's a good show. It's a good team. Well, good if you know it's a good
I can
TV.
hate. You sit there.
It's a great show if you're on your period.
Yeah,
it's a great show.
Let's all the feelings out.
People love it, and it gets downloads, it gets views, it gets touches. So
I miss.
Do you read?
I miss it when Milo Ventimiglia was getting told off by Rocky Balboa. Those were better times for him.
Listen, do you you read 50 Shades in between on commercial breaks?
No, I've actually never read 50 Shades.
You sure?
The fact that you have to clarify that's a problem.
All right.
Vegas Golden Knights fan, right? Killers fan, enjoys chick shows. Questionable.
Well, I guess you'll be joining us soon. But
when you and Matt do the show, do you have a good cry afterwards?
I haven't cried during.
Oh God.
Don't actually have a cry during.
That's it bullshit. I guarantee you sit there sobbing.
I imagine the both of them are sitting there like the birdcage. Both of them are Nathan Lane.
I have the Will Smith face where he's like crying, red eyes.
I imagine it's like when Nathan Lane's telling off Robin Williams about how he thinks he's cheating on him. I feel like that's the conversations that they have.
Listen, he says
something about because you're a man and I'm a woman. You're not a woman. Oh, you bastard!
Yeah. First of all, that's an incredible movie. That movie's hilarious.
I love that movie. That movie's great.
Can't hate on that movie.
I'm not going to hate on you for crying, okay? But there's certain times that a man can cry. All right, like like Tiger Woods hugging his father after his first Masters win, and then his last Masters win hugging his son. I mean, you can cry. That's totally acceptable. The end of Saving Private Ryan, where he's pretty much thanking Tom Hanks over his grave, like you can cry over that. That's like some
hold on.
Get some emotion out.
For love of the game, when he throws the perfect game and he goes to his hotel room and he starts crying. Can you cry? Can you relate to that? The last time you threw a ball that mattered?
Yeah, of course.
That hurt. I think about that and I identify so much with that scene where he just realizes, like, I will never throw a baseball again where it matters. And it was my whole life. It was everything. I mean, for him more so than obviously for somebody like us that plays for fun. He played it as a career his whole life, like life-changing shit. And I identify with that scene so much, where he's just sitting there on the bed by himself, like. He basically gave away any like type of like family and love that he could have had to play a game. And now the game's over and he ain't got shit.
Dude, listen, I mean, my last game in high school. Last game in high school, dude. Fucking I cried like a baby because I knew that's the last time I'm gonna play hockey, that it's actually gonna matter and people are gonna show up and give a fuck, and so something competitive, you know.
Field of Dreams when he has to catch with his top at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, you got cut off. That's why I started talking over you.
Your transmission is not too great today.
Yeah, it's going in and out. It is what it is. It's probably the delayed start.
Easy there, Garrett.
I'm just saying. Throughout that list of moments that it's completely okay to cry, This Is Us is not part of that.
You've never seen an episode of This Is Us. That's why.
I will never see an episode of This Is Us because I have fucking standards and morals, and I hold myself to a higher class of respect for myself.
Listen, I would watch This Is Us.
There are very emotional parts between like father and son.
Listen,
and like son and mother. So
I would watch This Is Us, but I got these things that get in the way. They're called testicles.
Yeah, like people that go out of their way to watch that shit. Like just go up and down Twitter and just read everybody's posts. It's like, hey, looking for prayers, guy, and read their backstory and cry yourself out. At least that's real. I mean, come on, you're searching for a reason to fucking get all emotional and cry.
I'm not searching for it. It's a good show.
This is like the Dane Cook skit where he's like, when you look in the mirror and you cry and you go, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And you start crying more.
Like literally the essence of that show is to be an emotional fucking train wreck. That's like what that show is meant for, is just to make you sad and emotional and like, hey, how can we do this? Oh, let's introduce this character and then fucking kill him in a fire. That should get it going.
But not in an entertaining way, in a sad way.
Like, no, you know,
not right.
It's so true you said that, because I was just talking to my wife about this. We were just watching the episode, and she's like they had the guy's backstory was that like his wife died. Like they just introduced him, and his backstory was that he lost his wife in a car, like a tragic car accident.
It's a chick thing. My wife.
She was like,
my wife absolutely loves Nicholas Sparks books, and every year a new book comes out, and I buy for her for Christmas, and she enjoys herself, and it keeps her entertained when we go on vacation. And she's sitting either on the beach or on the deck of the cruise ship reading it, and I'm usually throwing my son fucking 15 feet in the air while everybody else is horrified in the pool that's only like 3 feet deep. It's like, I'll catch him. It's cool. Hold on, let me put my beer down for this one. But when Nicholas Sparks movies come out, literally within 5 minutes of the movie starting, and I never read the book, and my wife has read all the books that the movies are based on, I'll be like, yep, they're killing that dude off, aren't they? And she's like, how do you know? I said, because they got to make it emotional. They got to fucking kill somebody off to make some kind of substance in the story. And I'm right every fucking time. It's just like obvious, and let's pull at the heartstrings. It's pathetic.
I like to watch movies.
One more time, a man could cry is during The Sixth Man when Marlon Wayans finds out his brother died. That was gut-wrenching.
That fucking sucks,
we have a guest. I don't want to keep talking about how one man could cry. Uriel is here. We're going to speak to him. Uriel, how you doing?
How are you doing, guys?
Right?
What's going on?
What? Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us. For those who don't know, it's very early where Uriel is. So we appreciate you joining us very early in the morning. Right now, it's late night for us, but we appreciate you helping us out. You want to go with Uriel or Uke? Because I know you got Uke NFL on.
Yeah. Everyone just calls me Uke. It's all good.
All right,
That's the easy way.
Uke. We had his name's right there. That's his Twitter as well. So follow him on Twitter. Underscore NFL for the audio for the podcast part. But so he is Belly Up's draft expert. This guy wrote, I want to say 150. Was that the number? You're a ton.
Yeah, about 100. About 100. Yeah.
100. Okay, I exaggerated it. He wrote over 100 articles, basically outlining each draft prospect. Top 100 draft prospects.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was impressive. I was following, I kept retweeting it and liking it and sharing it so everyone could get all the information they can for you. It's very impressive. So we do appreciate you joining us. And the reason why we have you here is obviously we're a week away from the NFL draft, which is next Thursday. We're Giants, Jets fans. We also, just me. I follow the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we kind of wanted to pick your brain about the top, maybe like the top 10, and then also where our teams probably would be looking at. So I guess starting with number 1, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously,
Brooke, hold on. Before we get into this, I gotta ask. I gotta know. Are you a Mel Kiper guy, or is he totally irrelevant in your mind?
Look, he has too many bad takes. I just kind of like take what he says with a grain of salt at this point. It's just the guys I like. My favorite guy is Peter Schrager. At the end of the day, you want to look up scouting reports. You got to do your own scouting. You don't want to start trusting all these other guys. Everyone has their own opinions. I think what matters when it comes down to mock drafts is seeing the guys who are plugged in, and that's Peter Schrager, who has sources and all these teams. When he comes out with a mock draft, those are the ones I really look for. Mel Kiper, he's just some guy who's done it for a long time.
He's just a character.
Gotcha. You're making a great point there because I've been following Peter Schrager myself, and I've been seeing a lot of sources talking about things that he's talking about, and even trades that are happening. Because I want to say he posted something about Deebo Samuel being on the move, not asking for a trade, but saying he's probably not going to be there. That was the first thing he popped off, but not in specific, he requested a trade. And then it broke that he requested a trade. But Peter Schrager is definitely up there. He does a lot of good mock drafts. Sure. And he's reasonable. He doesn't reach. He doesn't do a lot of the time, he doesn't do the best player available bullshit. It's who do you need for your team and who's available right now that'll make an effect today? Because that's the best way to draft. But go on, Rook. Go on.
So let's start with the Jacksonville Jags, number 1 pick after the miserable Urban Meyer experiment. Just starting here with number 1 pick. So I'm assuming they're going offensive line, but I want to hear what you think. Where are they going with it?
So I thought they were going to go offensive line. That was the consensus. First overall pick was Evan Neal up until they franchise tag Cam Robinson, which I feel like that was a pretty big deal because you're not going to franchise tag your left tackle and then go and draft a left tackle with number 1 overall pick. You don't double dip at a position when you have the most valuable overall pick in the draft. Yeah. So they still need offensive line help. I'm not a big fan of Juwan Taylor, their right tackle and their interior offensive line. They signed Brandon Scherf for free agency, but they still need help. But at the end of the day, when you franchise tag your left tackle and you sign the priciest guard on the market in free agency, you're not going with the number 1 overall pick to draft an offensive lineman. I feel like they've made that pretty clear with their free agency moves. So I feel like it's going to be, I feel like it needs to be Aiden Hutchinson. There have been some rumors that it might be Trayvon Walker just because of his, freakish athletic potential. This guy's the craziest athlete in the draft and from the edge position. The thing is, to me, he doesn't have the production that I feel like you would need in order to be a number 1 overall pick. He barely did anything at Georgia, and he's going to be switching positions. He was playing the 5 tech at Georgia where, you're basically playing one inside the offensive tackle, and now he's going to be bouncing it out to pure edge when he goes to the NFL, based on his athleticism and his traits. So I feel like a guy who's switching positions and who doesn't have the production, how can you justify taking a projection at number 1 overall? Number 1 overall, you need someone who's going to come in and produce right away, guaranteed. You can't mess this up. I feel like it's got to be Aiden Hutchinson. And the extra thing with Hutchinson is that he is a culture changer. He's someone who comes in and he can turn around the locker room. And that's rare for a defense. Usually, a quarterback comes in and he changes the culture. But someone who comes in on the defense and can really turn that around, I just feel like it needs to be Aiden Hutchinson. But, I would not be surprised if Trent Baalke messes this up.
That's the problem.
Do you see a potential problem with the fact that Aiden Hutchinson went to Michigan and Trent Baalke hates Jim Harbaugh, who's the coach of Michigan? I mean, I've been seeing a lot of chatter about that maybe Jim Harbaugh is whispering in Aiden Hutchinson's ear And there's from what I understand, there's an unknown, ununderstandable, like it just nobody can understand why Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh hate each other the way they do. That the fact that they'll let business get in the they'll let it get in the way of business.
So yeah, I feel like that's that's obviously a little bit ridiculous to not draft the obviously better player just because you don't like his college head coach. But I gotta say that seems like something that the decision makers in the NFL would do, just making these decisions off of totally arbitrary and unimportant things.
Especially Trent Baalke.
Especially
yeah, I would not be surprised if that's a thing. If they draft Trayvon Walker and it comes out later, they're like, oh, it's because they don't like Jim Harbaugh.
I would just like to point out that the Jacksonville Jaguars specifically tend to draft players from the Florida, Georgia, Alabama area.
They do.
All the time. It's just this very strange thing. Like, I'm a Florida State fan, and I know that if a guy's coming out of Florida State, he'll probably end up with the Jacksonville Jaguars because they draft everybody from Florida, Florida State, Miami, Georgia, and Alabama. Like, if you go to any of those schools, you're getting drafted, signed by Jacksonville.
Their draft, you're not wrong.
And I can only think because they're local kids and they have a name in the area and people will go watch them because they saw them play in high school.
Yeah, they need to sell tickets to Jags. I agree with you with that point.
So really in that case, I could see Trayvon Walker, who's from Georgia, getting drafted first overall simply because he went to Georgia and is from Georgia, which is obviously very close to Florida.
Yeah, you're selling this right now. You got me a little bit convinced. I hope they don't make that mistake, but I
hope they do.
Again, I can see it happening. Yeah, you're a Trayvon Walker guy?
No, I'm an Aiden Hutchinson guy, and I don't want to see him go to a crap team like the Jaguars.
I feel that. Can you imagine with him, Aiden Hutchinson with Dan Campbell? That'd be a dream.
Yeah. All right. So who we got? Number 2 goes to. Sorry, I was trying to look it up.
The Detroit Lions.
Lions. That's right. Lions have. So where do you think the Lions are going with this?
So, yeah, if they get Aiden Hutchinson, then that would be like a sprint the card type of situation. He's from Michigan. He's a Michigan guy. He loves the Lions. It's just that pairing. And he's not only the best player in the draft. So that pairing would just be ridiculous. But, if Aiden Hutchinson's not there, it's very interesting. I would love the Lions to trade down. There are rumors that they want to trade down. Because who do they really take at this selection? Do they take the second best pass rusher? Do they take Trayvon Walker? Do they take a Kayvon Thibodeau? There are rumors that they're not going to take Thibodeau because Dan Campbell did not like his personality, didn't like his cockiness and the way he carries himself. So the Lions are not in a good situation if Aiden Hutchinson is off the board. They could go Malik Willis. That would obviously be very.
I was going to ask, do they go quarterback?
I just feel like what's the point here? Like, I'm not a big Malik Willis fan, and I just feel like, especially in this quarterback class, are you really going to justify taking a quarterback second overall? He's going to sit for a year and then what? I feel like Trey Lance should be a cautionary tale. Taking these guys who have this crazy potential and saying, okay, well, we can develop them. Then Kyle Shanahan couldn't take Trey Lance and turn him into this, ready to start guy. They still have Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster because they don't know what's with Trey Lance. And this is a year after they trade up to third overall to take him. I just feel like with Malik Willis, there's so much projection there. There's so much unknown. He's so raw. He has this potential, but I just feel like that would be a bad move for the Lions, especially since they can get a good quarterback at 32. And is the quarterback they can get at 32 that much worse than Malik Willis? Probably not. So who do they take it to?
They could trade back and still probably get Malik Willis. I mean, depending on where they trade back, but I don't think Malik Willis is going that high, so they probably don't need to draft him at number 2.
I honestly think he'll go top 10 just because there are no other quarterbacks worth talking about
besides Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett.
Honestly, the only thing that has me somewhat, I'd be really low on Malik Willis because I'm a Power 5 guy. So like, you go to some bumfuck school and play nobody, I'm like sitting there going, I never even heard of your college. Like, if you were any good, you would have went to a better school. Daniel Jones, perfect example. All right. He went to a Power 5 school and he still sucked because he went to a school that you play basketball at, not football. So Malik Willis went to Alabama, if I remember right. He went to Alabama and then transferred to Liberty. Auburn, excuse me. Yeah, same state. Yeah. I went to Auburn and transferred to Liberty. And that's the only reason I'm quasi okay with him because I don't know why he left Auburn, but it's not because he doesn't have talent. It's probably because of some other reason. Availability, ability to start, ability to play. It might be academic. I don't know. I don't know why he left Auburn. I don't know why anybody would leave Auburn to go play at Liberty, but it probably wasn't a football related reason. So it could have been he just wanted to be closer to home. I don't know. But he didn't play he didn't play anybody worth talking about, writing home about in college. And I haven't heard anything about him until about 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it always happens.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest risers for sure.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think Detroit goes edge, or do you think they go offensive line, perhaps?
So yeah, here's the thing. It's not a great situation because, like I said, do they go with the second edge rusher off the board? They're probably not going to go KT. And do they go with Trayvon Walker? Again, he's a projection. Are you going to take a projection with the second overall pick? Offensive line, they already drafted Penei Sewell last year. They have who they have as their left tackle? They have Taylor Decker, who's a great left tackle. They have Frank Ragnow on the center. They have a very good offensive line. It's just there isn't really a need, something that they need to do here. And you would think that they would trade down, but in this draft, who's going to trade up to number 2? Like, why would anyone, invest extra resources to go up to 2? There's no one who's close enough who can't get their guy a couple picks later. So I feel like Detroit's kind of stuck in their position. I feel like they're going to end up going edge rusher, but if they don't get Aiden Hutchinson, it's not the best situation for them. They could come out with someone great, but it's, there's no perfect fit here.
Well, that's the draft, right? You could come out with somebody great at every position.
Yeah, no one thought Micah Parsons was a good pick for the Cowboys, but look at that.
Tom Brady was taken to the 6th round?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to find that guy that fits your system. But let's skip the Texans real quick because we want to get to the Jets and the Giants here. So we're going to go number 4, Jets. If you want to do a quick Texans pick, what do you think it is? And then you go to the Jets, we could do that.
So I'll just say I don't know who the Texans are going to take, but the Texans to me are probably the biggest domino in this draft because they're either going to go defense or offense, and that's going to affect because the Giants and the Jets both have 2 picks in the top 10. So they're going to be looking at the board and seeing if an offensive lineman was already taken, then the Jets and the Giants are probably going to try to jump and take an offensive lineman with 4 and 5. But if an offensive lineman isn't taken yet, then they're both probably going to wait, dropping the offensive lineman down lower in the top 10 to 7 and 10, which means that the teams in the middle are now going to have a lot more wiggle room, and it's really going to change the way the whole top 10 looks, And then with guys dropping, that's going to change who trades up into the top 10. The Texans are really going to they're the first pick that's going to turn around this draft. Okay. So I don't know who they're going to take, but that's a big one.
You don't know who they're going to take, but yeah, you feel that's going to be the big domino that affects our team.
It's either O-line or defense, yeah.
Okay, so let's just skip Texans, say they keep their pick, or let's just say, for example, the Texans go offensive lineman. What are the Giants and Jets doing at 4 and 5 then? If we go that.
So if the Texans take offensive line, that means the Jets and the Giants are probably going to be a little bit more pressed to hit offensive line at 4 and 5. I feel like with the Jets, honestly, here's the thing with the Jets. I was actually looking at their roster like yesterday because when you asked me to come on this podcast, and I was thinking that they don't really have any like major glaring holes. They just don't have anyone really good on their roster. Like if you look at their roster, it's full of like, average starters, not quality starters, but average starters all across the board. And there's no one that really sets them apart. So that's why they got to hit on 4 and 10 here. And trading down is probably not the best move. In fact, I would even, if I were the Jets, I would trade up from 10 and try to get back up into like the top 6 or top 5 and go up and get, that way they can get like a KT and a Sauce Gardner, or, an Ike Ekwonu and Evan Neal, or a Sauce Gardner or a KT, and some combination of these like top 5 or 6 talents who they probably won't get any of them at 10 because they got to hit on these big players. I feel like they got to go offensive line. I'm a huge Zach Wilson guy. He was actually my QB1 last year coming out of the draft ahead of Trevor Lawrence. I really like him, and I just felt like him coming out, the problem with him was he's a playmaker, and if you don't give him the proper protection, he's going to make a ton of mistakes, and that's exactly what happened. He made some great plays, and you could tell that he has potential, but they just didn't give him the protection, and he made a ton of mistakes. And just the way I see it is, they could hit defense hard. And if they go for defense, they take, let's say, Kayvon Thibodeau at a 4, and then they could for sure get either a Sauce Gardner or a Derek Stingley at 10, which would be a great defensive haul. That would really turn their defense around. But if you have Zach Wilson, throwing 10 plus picks at his first 2 years of his career, how much do you trust that he's going to develop into a Pro Bowl level talent? I just feel like you got to protect him and got to develop him sooner rather than later. So I feel like they got to take an offensive line here, either take at 4, either take Ike Ekwonu, take Evan Neal, even if you want to reach on a Charles Cross, then do that. But they got to go offensive line here. Just they have a solid offensive line, but boosted. They don't have the depth. They don't have the elite talent on their offensive line to really take it to the next level.
So then I'm assuming if they take offensive line again, you're seeing the Giants pick up the offensive line as well, or do you think they go defense there at that point?
Yeah, if the Giants don't take an offensive lineman in this draft,
Yeah,
their team's gonna put on the clown mask. It's over.
Yeah, I already called them a clown organization earlier this year. I'm the Giants fan. They're both Jet fans, so I've already called them the clown organization because of everything with Joe Judge. So, I'm with you on that. I think offensive lineman's definitely an option there. Obviously, it depends on, as we said before, Texans and the Jets, or who they're picking at that point. So they're probably gonna end up with what, the third of the Neo Cross, and then I can't pronounce the other one. Ikinawa, is that what it's like? Aquanu.
Yeah,
so they're probably at the third out of that
Icky,
one.
man.
I'm calling Icky.
Icky. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's easier for me. I'm really bad with names. So I mean, you're saying they're probably gonna go across there at that point, or do you see someone else that they would pick?
If that's how the board falls, I feel like they got to go with Charles Cross, just because if they try to wait until 7 and 2 offensive linemen are already off the board, I wouldn't put it past the Panthers to take an offensive lineman just because they have such a need at left tackle. So if they try to wait until 7, there's a realistic chance that they don't get any of the top 3, and that would just be not good for the Giants. So they gotta, if 2 offensive linemen are off the board, they gotta hit one at 5. I feel like there are rumors that they go with Charles Cross. My problem with Charles Cross is that they drafted Andrew Thomas, who's a left tackle. And the rest of their line is terrible. And Andrew Thomas is playing a little bit better, and he's, on an upward trajectory. So do you really want to, change his position now? Because if you take a Charles Cross, that means Charles Cross is left tackle. He's not going to play any other position on the offensive line. The way he's athletic, and he's a little bit more lead, he's a little bit less powerful. It's perfect for the athletic left tackle position. So, that means you're going to have to kick Andrew Thomas and maybe stunt his development. It's just, they're not in a good position here. I would hope that they try to get an Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu. If one of those guys drop to 5, I feel like they got to make that move, and they could probably still get a quality like a Sauce Gardner or a Kayvon Thibodeau at 7, and those guys are quality top level starters in elite talent for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like obviously the Jets and Giants being so close, both needing pretty much the same thing, offensive line and defensive linemen. So like you said before, I don't think the Gardner could go there, could go Giants. Sorry, I was just trying to finish that thought. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
I don't think the Jets need offensive line. They have Mekhi Becton. You just drafted him with your first round pick, 2 years ago? He had a bad year last year, obviously, because he was injured. I don't think the team is that low on him, as low as the New York media likes to make it out to be. He did have a damn fine season the year before last. His rookie season was definitely better than what most projected. And definitely better than people are talking about. It's almost as if he never even played his rookie year because he got injured last year. And we're coming back this year. You're right. We don't have depth, but I don't think you don't look for depth in the first round. The first round is not built for depth. Now, what we are missing is we're missing an edge rusher. We haven't had a pass rusher since John Abraham. And that was, I don't know, T, help me out. When was the last time John Abraham played for the Jets? 17 years ago, something like that?
Late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah. Is that like 17 years ago? 2005, I think he left the Jets.
And you don't see Abraham jerseys in the stadium anymore.
Yeah, so I think they go defensive line. They pick up a Kayvon Thibodeau. They pick up a Trayvon Walker. Although I'm not high on Trayvon Walker at all. I'm higher on Jermaine Johnson than I am on Trayvon Walker. But then again, I'm biased because I'm a Florida State fan. But he did own Ike Ekwonu at the Senior Bowl. So I mean, he's at the Senior Bowl. I'm sorry, not Ike Ekwonu. He owned damn it, who did he play against? Not Cross. He did own. I'm pretty sure they played Ike Ekwonu this year. Florida State did, and he slapped him around.
He looked really good at the Senior Bowl too. Yeah.
He slapped him, but he played very well at the Senior Bowl, which the Jets were at and coached. So they personally had a relationship with Jermaine Johnson for at least a week.
Yeah, and they said overall, that's high.
I don't, as far as that's, something being high, it's high at the moment. But if in 10 years he's a Hall of Famer, you look back and go, I guess that wasn't high.
Yeah, but here's the thing, that you could use that to justify, reaching for any pick. Like when the Raiders took, what was the name, Alex Leatherwood, and everyone said they could have gotten him in the second round. It's like, yeah, maybe he hits and maybe he's your guy, but you need to keep in mind also the situation that you're in. And if you could get him later and then also get a premium player at your spot, like they have pick 10 also. They could probably get Jermaine Johnson at 10.
Like the Giants drafting Daniel Jones when they could have got him in the second or third round because he sucks.
That's fair. I just gotta say,
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
I don't disagree with that.
But anyway, I don't
Okay.
mean to drag this on. Move on, Rook. Go on. Move on.
Wait, I
Move
just
on.
want to say before we move on, I
Yeah.
love that we have, some Jets and Giants here because all my friends are Jets or Giants fans, and they're always at each other's necks. And since I'm like the NFL guy, they all have, football is just a hobby for them. For me, it's a little bit more serious, as you can see. So they always like turn to me. They're like, "What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?" So recently, I've been saying a lot that I'm a big Jets guy this year. I think that the Jets, I would take the Jets for the next 5 years over the Giants next 5 years. And that always throws my friends into this crazy frenzy. And they're like, "What?" Then my Giants fans are like, "What are you talking about? That's crazy. You can't say that." And then my Jets fans friends are like, let's go. We got him on our side. So I love that we have this dichotomy right here.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm a Giants fan. I 100% agree with you. I do not. I don't see the Giants. The Giants have a quarterback right now. They have to start all over again. It's all because of Dave Gettleman. He just set the franchise back 5 years. So, it sucks. But, I like to see a turnaround. But I agree with you, actually, because I don't think the Giants have the quarterback right now. I don't think they're getting him this year. And they're staying with Daniel Jones. I don't think it's going to help. But let's move on. So, moving on after the Giants-Jets pick, it's going to be number 6 is going to be the Panthers. Do you think they go quarterback there? Or do you think they decide they try to figure out what the Giants and Jets do with the offensive line and defensive line?
Yeah, so the Panthers got to take either left tackle or a quarterback because I'll probably get one of the top 3 left tackles in the draft with pick 6, and they have a dire need at left tackle. But the question is here, and this is what everyone's saying, is kind of like a chicken or egg situation. Which do you hit first? Do you need that quarterback, and then start building your offense around your quarterback, and then you protect him, or is it the other way around? Do you first need to build a solid offensive line and then put a quarterback behind it? So the question is, where do you go first? I feel like they don't have a pick in the second round, so they can't really get both positions. They might want to trade down, but again, who's going to trade up to 6? Who are you trading up for? Who's this upper echelon talent, especially in this draft? There's no top quarterbacks who people are going to trade up for. The Panthers are kind of screwed right now. They don't really have a place to go. If they go with a quarterback, they're going to be reaching. And if they go with a left tackle, then you may as well just fire Matt Rule right now because they're going to have another, 4-win season, 5-win season. And then what's the point? So they're not in a good position either. If they manage to trade down, that's probably the best case scenario. They get maybe an extra second round pick, and then they can hit quarterback and left tackle. The way things about what I've been hearing is that they're going to take quarterback. So I don't like it. I don't think it's going to turn out well, especially if they take Malik Willis and then they're forced to start him because Sam Darnold's going to be terrible, and then that's going to stunt his development because he needs time to develop. And maybe if they take a Kenny Pickett, but I'm not a Kenny Pickett fan. I think Kenny Pickett is way overrated. So I don't know what they do here. I really don't. I think that wherever they go, they're probably going to go quarterback. There's a lot of Kenny Pickett ties to Matt Rule back from the Temple days where Kenny Pickett committed to Temple back in the day. So they had a relationship. So they might go Kenny Pickett. I don't see a way where the Panthers come out of this draft and we give them, an A+ grade. And then, a couple years down the line, we look back and we say, wow, what a great move for them. Like, this is going to be a bad draft for them. I don't see them coming out of this in a good light at all.
So you don't think there's a way they would pick Malik Willis over Kenny Pickett, or you think if they're going quarterback at that point, they're going Kenny Pickett?
So for sure, yeah, they could totally go with Malik Willis. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the buzz that he's getting. I'm not a huge fan of either of them. To me, my top 2 quarterbacks are Desmond Ridder and Matt Corral. Those are the guys I really like out of this draft class. But I feel like either way, the reason I don't think they take Malik Willis is because Malik Willis is not ready to start right now. And if you throw him in the fire right now, coming from Liberty, he played a very, in this very weird offensive system that's not, doesn't fit the NFL at all. And then on top of that, he's just, he made so many mistakes. He clearly needs to develop as a thrower of the ball, someone who reads the field and analyzes and anticipates throws. And he's just not there yet. And if you throw him in the mix right now, I feel like you're just going to be stunting his development. And Matt Rule and I think it was, who's there, Terry Fontenot, or Scott Fitterer. Scott Fitterer is their general manager, and they know that they're on a short leash, and they know that they need to hit on someone this year because if they have another 4 or 5 win season, they're gone. So if they take a Malik Willis, that you're basically just signing off your resignation letter. But on the other hand, how good is Kenny Pickett? Again, I don't know about. I don't know what they do here. I could see them going Malik Willis. I could see them going Kenny Pickett. Neither are great options.
All right, so we'll wrap it up. We're having just a little bit more time with you before we got to let you go. But last thing, I guess we'll skip the Giants here. We'll go straight to number 10 for the Jets. Do you think the Jets would go at a wide receiver here, or do you think they'll go with someone like, as you said before, Stingley?
So I've heard a lot that like the Jets have tipped their cap at basically they've given away what they want to do. with how they've shown that they're interested in DK Metcalf and in Tyreek Hill and all of these wide receivers who are open on the market, and they want a wide receiver one. It's very clear that they want to get that guy. But I don't know if there is that guy in this draft. None of these receivers, I really like this receiver class. It's very deep, and it has, of all the positions, it has the most first-round talent. But none of these guys really project as like a dominating wide receiver one. Like we had Jamar Chase last year. Who everyone knew going into the draft, he was going to come in and be a wide receiver one. There's no one in that draft class this year. And I feel like you draft someone at 10 and you get another, high-end wide receiver two, like a Elijah Moore caliber type of player. That's not really going to move the offense. They have Elijah Moore and they have some other pieces, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios, like they're not great, but at the end of the day, if they get another guy who's on the level as Elijah Moore, that's not really going to push the needle. I feel like they're better suited, probably taking a wide receiver at the top of the second round where they can still get, very good talent, and then hitting the more premium positions now. Let's say get an edge rusher or a corner. I feel like if they don't go corner at 4, they got to take either a Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley at 10. That'd be a perfect fit.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty good. Nick, what do you think as a Jets fan? You're on mute.
I think Derek Stingley's a bust. Honestly. Guy coming off an injury.
Wow.
He had one good year. And then he missed his entire year just now. And now we're asking him to pull an Antonio Cromartie and get drafted in the first round after missing an entire season with a torn leg and come back and be a Pro Bowler. Like that's a tall order. I like Sauce Gardner better than I like Derek Stingley right now because we're basically basing this off of Derek Stingley from 2020, not 2021.
Well, it's too bad because Sauce Gardner's going to be in a Giants uniform. So suck.
I mean, if Sauce Gardner's in a Giants uniform, I'm all right with that because that means the Giants are going to suck for the next 10 years even further than right now because they got much bigger problems than who's playing cornerback, okay? Because your number one receiver from last year didn't show up to OTAs, and he wasn't good last year.
Voluntary.
That's great. He voluntary all day long. He voluntarily decided not to learn the playbook.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he should have been.
All I know is Elijah Moore is at the Jets facility working right now.
I agree with you. I think he should have been there too. I'm jokingly defending him.
And he also defended murderer Henry Ruggs III.
We know. We had a long conversation about that before.
Who did that? Wait.
Kadarius Toney.
For real? Wow.
Yeah.
You guys tweeted about it. It was bad. We'll talk offline about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you getting up early to go through this.
Pleasure,
that was very in-depth analysis. You have one of those like typical draft guy voices too. Like it's awesome because they always got to be fast. There's only have like a little bit of time, and you nailed it, man. That was a great draft analysis.
Thank you, man. I gotta tell you, there's nothing I love hearing more than coming onto a podcast and you guys calling me Belly Up's senior draft analyst or draft expert, whatever, man. That really.
Well, I didn't say that many words.
I'd wake up at any time of the night for that.
Better that way. All right, well, thank you.
I'll say it right now. Belly Up senior draft analyst, Uke.
Let's go. There we go.
There we go.
Uke, hopefully we'll have you on again maybe after the draft. I know you said you're expecting, so I don't want to bother you too much, but.
Nah, I'm actually where we my wife gave birth already, so we're all good.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, like a week and a half ago. So thank you.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
You had a girl?
Thank you. Yeah, hashtag girl dad.
Oh, me too. Nice. I have a second girl on the way too. So.
Oh my God, and your girl's Jewish too.
It's true.
Yeah, I am. My wife's Jewish too. All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Varner.
All right, that was great. You was a good guy.
That was, dude. Honestly, he kind of convinced me about the O line. Not for nothing. I mean, you could attribute a lot of, especially early in the season, Zach Wilson's rushing the ball, late throws and throws behind the wide receivers. I mean, do I think one O lineman is going to make the difference between giving him the extra, second or two? Probably not. But I like that analysis because it definitely makes sense and hits home for, I think, trying to build up our young quarterback.
My only problem with that is that if we draft O-line again, we're basically admitting that the 2020 draft was a complete waste of everybody's time and energy because nobody in that draft hit.
I agree, and I got to say that if Thibodeau's still there when the Jets are up, how do you not take him?
Yeah. But all right, here it's coming.
See how I do this week.
Hey, you did good last week. You got the Baywatch.
That's right. I did do good last week.
And I posted on TikTok. People were commenting. So
there we go.
Now we are cooking here, cooking with oil.
We're doing pretty good on TikTok, huh?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on TikTok. I like it. The TikTok, we got a bunch of followers. But let's get to this. We're gonna have to go through this quick because we only have 5.5 minutes up. 5.5 minutes up. So all right. Guess this theme song, Sal. You don't have much time to think about it. So go.
Surf dudes with attitudes, kind of groovy, laid back moves, sky above, sand below, good vibrations, feeling
mellow. Oh, my fault.
Dude, I don't know this.
That's classic.
That's great.
Do you want to even take a guess?
Don't give it up.
Give me some hints.
Don't wanna stop.
It takes place in the West Coast. It stars.
Okay.
It follows a band that plays music.
It's basically Saved by the Bell with a band.
With a band. And I'll give you a hint. Kelly Packard was in the show.
Oh, Kelly Packard was on the show.
She was in the show.
You got me stumped on this one.
Jesus.
TJ doesn't know either.
TJ doesn't know it either. But this one is California Dreams. Teen NBC. Every Saturday after Saved by the Bell and before Hang Time came California Dreams wedged in the middle with Sly Winkle. Remember Sly Winkle? What a
Sly
sly
Winkle.
guy.
Still have
Sleazy
no
guy.
friggin' clue what this show
Yeah,
is.
I don't have any
Really?
idea.
Watch. You might remember
There's an
let's go
episode
to
of Jimmy
the-
Fallon where they do a reunion, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Let's go to the
And one of the guys looks like
Nothing
Jerry.
Jimmy Fallon does is awesome. So
Yeah. Let's go to the
Hold
clip.
on.
surf dudes with attitude, kind of groovy, laid back moves, sky above, sand below, good vibration, feeling mellow.
oh my
best
god,
part about-
in one friggin' theme song that's everything wrong with the 90s in like one keeping
There was
dose of
nothing wrong with the
douchiness.
90s.
First of all, this show is
Oh.
amazing because the entire premise of it from season 1 to season 3 changed completely. It was supposed to be about a family, the Garrisons, their son and daughter in the band, and it's supposed to be like their family is supposed to be mainly about their family. By season 2, they wrote half of the family off the TV show.
The whole family was
Jeez.
off.
No, season 3, they get rid of the son and the father. The
So
father
I
and
like
son
it.
survived season 2.
I like
season 1.
the fact. Oh, the daughter goes to Rome too.
Yeah, she goes to Rome to sing.
She's gone too. I just like the fact that one of the actors looks like Jerry, our friend Jerry.
Is that who's that? Is that Jake Summers now?
Yeah, that's Jake Summers now.
Oh
Is
wow,
that the
he
dude
looks so
from
different.
Stained?
And what's really crazy is if you ever look at a picture of Jerry when he was younger, he looks like that. I shit you not. Call Jerry up and ask him for a picture. Or go on his Facebook. Look for a
go
picture
back.
when he was like younger in the 90s.
And it's funny. Kelly Packard wasn't she also on Baywatch too? Eventually,
He was on Baywatch.
that,
Yes, she
that was
was.
the connection I made this week. I made it. That was the Baywatch
Yeah.
star. All right, we have one more question. Nick, does Gen Z know?
All right. What
Who- who
dance? All right, so it's a two-parter, okay? What is
Okay.
this dance called and who invented it? And I'll
Okay.
even give you some music to give you a hint.
Wait, I have the clip of the.
Oh, you do? Okay, go ahead.
But when I see you hanging about with anyone,
That's a Carlton.
Okay, that's the
Yeah,
name of the
well,
dance.
all
Who
right.
invented it?
Who invented it?
Was it Tom Jones?
Do you want one more guess? We'll give you one more guess. We have a little bit of time.
Is it somebody I would know?
You might.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the 90s. We gave it away. It's a she. It's not a
90s?
he.
It's a she. I mean, 90s into 2000s, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I just saw her in the movie the other day. Wasn't she in that movie the other day?
yeah. I'm gonna go 5, 4.
Janet Jackson? No.
No. Here's
So most people would tell you that the person that invented the dance was Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
When in actuality, the dance was invented by, show that clip, Rook.
those
Courtney
of you
Cox.
for the podcast. We just so the audio part of the podcast. We just showed a clip of Courtney Cox dancing in the dark on stage.
Never done it.
Now we're gonna hit copyright claim. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Dude,
So you hit us with a
I would have
compliment.
never gotten
Listen, it's hard to find. It's hard to find, but did you ever see one of the episodes of Saturday Night Live when it was still funny? Courtney Cox hosted, and Adam Sandler came out with a big fake nose like Bruce Springsteen and starts doing it like really douchebaggy. And dude, it's like impossible to find on YouTube, but it's one of the funniest fucking things because he literally looks like a caricature of Bruce Springsteen, and he's just like,
So
Fucking
Alfonso
amazing.
Ribeiro basically picked that dance because he's supposed to be, you know, like the Uncle Tom white guy character on the show, and it was the whitest dance he'd ever seen in his life. And that's why that's the dance that Carlton came up with. He was like, that's the epitome of how white people dance.
All right, let's wrap it up because we're already running over. Go,
But
Nick.
that's all we've got for you this week here with the Scoreboard Addicts podcast as TJ yawns his life away. From all of us here, from Nick, from TJ, from Anthony the Rook, and Stat Guy Sal, we thank you for spending this time with us. We'll catch you again next week. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you one time.
And thanks to Uke as well.